Hi everyone, welcome to YourPedia and this is Shubham. So this is my first live class in HPCL and I want to congratulate all the students of mine who have given the exam of Airport Authority. And one good thing was that whatever portion we have covered in the class, like sentence completion was there, spotting errors was there, idiom and phrases were there. So many questions came from that category. And I tell you one more thing, like in HPCL also, you're preparing for HPCL also now. So the many targeted questions are going to come from spotting errors, sentence completion, and also from synonyms and antonyms. So what you need to do is like you need to make cross channel, like which are the topics which I need to do first, and which are the topics which I can like someone's are there who are not that good in English. So they can prioritize their topics, and that is the first goal to practice any examination. Now, the major aim of taking these classes is like every time I'll be covering with lots of questions. Like today, I'll be covering 25 major questions. And it would be a replica of the previous year examination. Like the pattern was there from easy to moderate. So the same questions are there. I have covered all those questions so that the ones who have in case missed practicing those questions and even have taken the target like similar to those questions. So that the best part is like you practice a number of questions. In English, there are lots of rules. It is true that you are going to get lots of rules. But one major hack is like how many questions you practice. That is the major hack because practice is going to make you perfect. And I'm telling you that practice a lot and a lot questions. Like suppose today I'm covering 25 questions. Same way in the next week also I'll be taking 25 more questions from the previous year also and from you can say the pattern similar to it from spotting errors, sentence completion, idiom phrases, synonyms is there and lots of other categories. So I'll be taking the questions and you can compile all those questions. What we will do is I'm not only taking the questions, I'm going to discuss the rules with every question. Like suppose first question is of your spotting error or sentence completion. So I'll give you the hacks like which you need to follow that whenever you get a question similar to it, you can just stick out the answer, right? So I guess we can start now without wasting much time. Now we can start with the best of 25 questions of English. Okay. So this was a question which came in your previous year. It's not very tough question, I'm telling you. It's a very easy question and very simple to answer. Now this is based on your sentence completion. And your sentence completion is going to be from conjunctions, from prepositions, and from all these categories, right? So let's check it out. Like who are there? Sentence completion is going to be there. The western coastal plains are found dash Gujarat. Okay. So these are going to, this is the first question, like where they are found. Now, this would be simple. This is a very simple question. I guess most of the students who are there in the class, they would be able to answer it. 4 options are there: in, for, at, and on. Now, who are telling the answer? Like Shivam told, in is there. Anyone else? Like just pop in the comments, participate more. Interaction is the first purpose of this class so that you are able to interact with me also and we get together with lots of rules and questions. Keep noting down the rules, okay? Side by side. Now, everyone is answering in. Yeah, it was very easy that the answer is in. The western coastal plains are found in Gujarat. Now, the best part about is like now I want to discuss is what is where you need to use in, where you need to use on, and where you need to use at. Because these are the specific categories from where your sentence completion would come. Now, whenever you have a category which is very wide, like in kahan pe lagna hai, in 18th century, जब बहुत ज्यादा rigid area आ जाता है ना, तब हम in लगाते हैं. ठीक है. जब आ जाता है हमारा कुछ specific आ जाता है. Suppose किसी की birth date है. My birthday falls on suppose 11th August. So it is my birthday falls on 11th August, right? तो वो on आ गया. At आ जाता है किसी specific time पे. Let's meet today at 5 PM. तो क्या आ जाता है? आपको note down करना है. इन कहाँ पे यूज होगा? सेंचुरीज के साथ, डिगेट्स के साथ, जब बहुत ज्यादा वाइड हमारे पास पोर्शन आ जाएगा. ऑन कहाँ पे यूज होगा? जब हमारे पास स्पेसिफिक है लेकिन कम. जैसे स्ट्रीट्स के लिए ऑन ऑक्सफोर्ड स्ट्रीट, लेट्स मीट ऑन यू कैन से द एवेन्यूज, कुछ भी एवेन्यू आ जाए तो ऑन यूज होगा. एट कहाँ पे यूज होगा? किसी लोकेशन के लिए. अब बहुत स्पेसिफिक चीज आ गई है, स्पेसिफिक टाइम आ गया है, स्पेसिफिक लोकेशन आ गई है. तो दीज आर द जनरल कंपोनेंट्स वेयर यू नीड टू यूज इट. आई एम टेलिंग यू कि आपकी प्रेपोजिशन के बेस पे बहुत ज्यादा सेंटेंस कंप्लीशन है. इजी है, जैसे ये इजी था. नाउ यू नेवर नो, यू गेट अ टफ क्वेश्चन आल्सो. वी शुड बी प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर एवरीथिंग. सो जस्ट नोट इट डाउन. यू कैन गेट अ स्क्रीनशॉट ऑफ एवरीथिंग कि कहां पे हमने इन लगाना है, ऑन लगाना है या फिर हमने एट लगाना है. फाइन. नाउ लेट्स मूव टू दिस ओनली कैटेगरी. फन थिंग मोर कि एट कहां पे है. देखो he gets up at 4 o'clock. तो मैंने बोला ना rigid आ गया, time आ गया specific, तो at 4 o'clock. She is at the library. एक जगह specific आ गई. When is a specific of location, we used at. So this is a portion which is very specific. In is a portion which is very elaborate. Now कोई भी city आ जाए, कोई भी country आ जाए, in France, in Delhi, in Noida, in Chandigarh, whatsoever. In 1988 बहुत wide है. So now you get a general idea that what is the difference between the usage of in, at, and on. So on is simply you're sitting on an island, on the bus, on the television. Specific है, ये बहुत specific. This is little more specific to that, and this is, you can say, a general idea, right? So this was a way you need to note it down. You need not only to solve the questions. Whenever you attempt a question, get a major idea. कि साथ साथ में we get the rules also. Main task is also to get the rules. Now see, this is a simple one where you are to get the, you can be given a statement. 4 statements are given, right? So you need to check which is grammatically correct, right? So grammatically correct means you should have subject should be there, verb should be there, object should be there. So this is a category you need to devise. Now, just look at this question first. Now, try to solve it and then I'll tell you what is the main hack to solve it. This was also from your previous year, right? So this is a previous year question. Now you don't think like it is a very easy one, ma'am. Yeah, these are easy. Because your English, they are not going to judge you कि English में कितने expert हो आप लोग. They're just going to get a very general idea like how good you are in English. B option, C option. See that you change. Now this is also one thing. This is a proverb. Okay. Note it down also, and you should be aware about this also. One more thing, like honesty is the best policy. They can even give you that also. So any kind of a proverbs, if you are aware, like general proverbs, which are normally we get engaged in our day to day. So these are the proverbs. Now you're getting between D and C. Okay, now see. The change you want to see. The बोलते हुए भी हमें गलत लग रहा है, तो this is wrong. Be the you want to change. Be the you, वो बनो जो तुम change. No, this is also wrong. See the change, want you to be. See the change, want you to be क्या हो गया? या तो you want होता, कुछ होता. This is wrong. Be the change you want to see. वो change बनो जो तुम देखना चाहते हो. Like अगर बोले कि कुछ लाइफ में कुछ ऐसा करो, like जो change तुम reality में लाना चाहते हो, पहले खुद करो. That we say ना, don't throw garbage on the roads and all that. तो पहले तुम मत फेंको ना, फिर बाकी लोग भी नहीं फेंकेंगे, right? So in this way, this was a proverb. You can get an idea. And this was spoken by, you can say, famous Mahatma Gandhi ji. What he told us, be the change you want to see. So it is like, it was a full proverb in the world. अब आपको in the world missing आ गया. So in same way, you can get multiple, you can see the task in it, how you need to solve this question, right? Next you have is, now this is something that is based on the rule. I tell you, most of the things in English are going to come from the rules. And I've shared the, I guess, PDF with my students also, like how you need to solve the questions based on the rules. So ये है easy, but also here we will be applying rules. And what is there? This is also based on the sentence completion. First was also sentence completion. Third is also sentence completion. So you can see that sentence completion is the major part of your exam. 4 questions approximately, they will be there from your sentence completion. Okay. So tell me, I know she is not experienced for this job, but the communication skills seem to be far dash than the other candidates who were interviewed today. So what would be there? C option. Everyone is answering C? C option. Why better? Now, why not good, best, better, more good? Now you will say, even if you find it easy, what is the, you can say, what is something you saw? That is why you are saying the C option. Anyone? C option ही क्यों? Who can tell me the reason? Like Shikhar, Tarun, Vijay, Shivam. Just tell me the reason also, no? Like, ma'am, why only C option? Comparison, right? And what is comparison? Like when you have than, whenever you get a than in a statement, just go for a comparative degree. Just close your eyes and go for a comparative degree. Good is a positive degree. Best is a superlative degree. More good does not exist. Better is the only option that is left. So this is the rule of yours, that whenever in a statement you get than, you will go for a comparative degree, right? And whenever best is there, suppose best was there, so it would be used with the superlative degree and the would be there. In spotting errors, such questions are there. What they do is, like, she is most beautiful girl. They missed the part. So you need to check, like, whenever superlative degree is there, the would be used. Whenever than is there, comparative degree to be used, right? So this was the other question. Now you find it easy, but I am telling you the rules that you need to note it down side by side. Okay. So here you will get question on spellings also. Like I tell you, 2 questions were there from the spellings, I guess. And spellings, you find yourself to be very perfect. But you need to pay attention towards spellings also. Now tell me which one of these you find misspelled. Permanent, restaurant, adamant, and jubilant. C option, adamant. Okay, side by side, keep noting down the vocabulary also. I'll be telling you the meaning of these words also. Okay, so you can note it down that what is the meaning of certain word. Jubilant. B option is restaurant. So everyone is answering, है ना? एक A बोल दो, एक B बोल दो, एक C बोल दो, एक D बोल दो. सारे options हो जाएंगे. Which is the major one? Jubilant. Okay, can anyone tell me the meaning of jubilant and adamant? Permanent पता है, ठीक है? Restaurant भी पता है क्या होता है. तो इन दोनों में क्या difference है? Adamant क्या होता है? C, happy. Yeah. So that is like if a student who gave the airport authority exam and he was able to find कि भाई 17 या 20 में से 20 English के तो पक्के हैं. तो he is at the overjoyed, that is happiness. तो वो तो हो गया jubilant, ठीक है? So you need to note it down the term also कि overjoy, extreme happiness, that is your jubilant. What do you mean by adamant? That also you need to know. See, vocabulary भी आ सकती है आपको, vocabulary के words reading जैसे होता है ना, तो you should be aware like what are the words. Now tell me the meaning of adamant. Don't Google first thing. Don't need to Google. Just have a reaction to this. Stubborn, yeah. There are some students who get the scolding from their parents and all that. कि पढ़ लो. This is the right time you need to study. Classes लगा लो. कट्ठे से पढ़ लो अभी. Why? And there are students who don't study at that time also. That is, they are very stubborn. ढीठ बच्चे होते हैं ना, so that is called as a stubborn, adamant, right? So misspell क्या आ जाता है? अब देखो, adamant is there, permanent is there, restaurant is there, jubilant is there. Spelling पे हमने target करना है, so that is this one is wrong. What should be the right spelling is jubilant. I should not be there. This I is wrong here, right? Jubilant. Topics for HPCL we will be discussing. I'm telling you sentence. You will see this is a major replica of your this exam only. Like how your exam came last year, right? So you can see even yourself can notice कि sentence completion. But what you have to see is sentence completion आ गया, spotting errors आ गया, किस तरह से questions आ रहे हैं. That is the main target. और हमें we cannot think like easy to moderate. We should be prepared for something hard also. Like अगर tough आ गया तो वो चीज को hack करने के लिए rules है. That is why I'm saying you just keep noting down the vocabulary. Now here synonyms in case you get a synonym of jubilant. Now see you get the awareness like jubilant means overjoy, extreme happiness, right? Elated, glad. You are saying you are celebrating something. You are exhilarating, pleased. So note these words. Gleeful, you're very rejoicing. So these are the words which can be there for your synonyms of jubilant. Same way, I have given the term also adamant, who were not aware. The students who were not aware about the term adamant. That means someone who is very stubborn, who is inflexible, like the person who cannot change, like he cannot change his routine at all. He wants a class at 7 p.m. Now the class is there at 7 p.m. But if you're still not attending, that means you're adamant now. Then it's unbending, unyielding, uncompromising. See, these are the ways you need to learn. English is, you cannot learn English in one day. What is there? You need to regular practice it out. And that is what we are doing is, we are practicing number of questions and questions, right? So this is there, how you need to do it. एक क्वेश्चन को पकड़ के ना प्रीवियस ईयर को सॉल्व करना है, बट प्रीवियस ईयर को भी इस तरह सॉल्व करना है कि इन केस वहां से भी कुछ और निकलता है ना, so we get an idea like how to solve it. Now tell me error spotting again. A question from error spotting is there. I was walking down the road when all of the sudden it started raining cats and dogs. Now tell me where is the error spotting one? Where is the error? You need to tell me. I was walking down the road. अब क्या क्या लगाया उन्होंने? Down the road है. Then they are telling us I was walking में problem है. When all of a sudden में problem है, and it started raining cats and dogs. So you have 1, 2, 3, and 4 categories. Now you tell me where is the problem? Like all of a C part. What is the problem in C part now? When all of the sudden. So क्या problem all of the sudden में? What is the problem? What should be the right manner in it? D part है. It started raining cats and dogs. Now see, the ones who are attending my class, they know, like I have discussed in idiom and phrases what is the meaning of cats and dogs. I'll discuss this also. See, in this way you are getting two multiple things. So students who are not aware about the idiom and phrases, they won't be able to do it now. They would think कि कुछ गलत है, cats and dogs कैसे गिर सकते हैं. The, yeah, when you will speak, sometimes ना when there is an error, speak the words, mumble it out. बोलते बोलते भी कई बार ना कुछ error पकड़ा जाता है, right? So it is, I was walking down the road when all of a sudden, now this is a very minute error, someone would miss कि चलो article पे based है क्या ही होगा, but no, this is important. All of a sudden होता है. And cats and dogs, now you need to note it down. What is the meaning of cats and dogs? That is raining very heavily. जब बहुत तेज बारिश होती है ना, उसको बोलते हैं cats and dogs, right? So you can note it down. Like here, all of a sudden should be there. And something unexpected happens all of a sudden. You can say raining cats and dogs means बहुत तेज बारिश होना. अगर आजकल वैसे भी मानसून चल रहा है, so you can use this term now that it is raining cats and dogs, right? Next you have is appropriate option to complete the sentence. Now see, again the sentence completion. Now you see, तीसरा क्वेश्चन है या फोर्थ क्वेश्चन है ना? 3 questions 6 में से तो हमारे sentence completion के ही आ गए. So now you understand what is the major part, sentence completion, spotting errors. So these are the very important topics. Now do this. Also based on a simple rule of did. That's it. This is very general English, and that is why I'm saying just get a general idea. This is A part. That is for heavy raining. That is not for heavy. जब होता है ना बहुत तेज होना तो cats and dogs लगाते हैं. Otherwise raining होता simple. So that is the problem. That is the only difference. A part, B part. देखो, did you dash your essay yourself? पहले try to break it down. Okay, now you have to do this. So whenever did comes, now first thing is there. Whenever did is there, we use the first form of verb. Did पहले ही past को करता है denote, लेकिन हमने दोबारा past नहीं लगाना होता. What you need to use is the first form of the verb. So what would be there is, did you write, wrote, write. So this option gets eliminated. Every other option has the first form of verb, right? So हमें ये पता चल गया C option तो गलत है. Now came, or did you dash help from your sister? So dash help from your sister. Here also you will see did is again there. So how you need to use it? अब भी हम क्या लगाएंगे? First form of verb लगाएंगे. तो क्या आंसर बनेगा इसमें? B option. took क्या, बट B option कैसे हुआ? Take, took. क्या आएगा? ये आएगा? नहीं. What should be there? D option, right? So you will be using did you write your essay yourself or did you take help from your sister? So both first form and D is the right thing, right? तो इस तरह से you need to note it down कि जब भी हम किसी sentence में, now see this was a very basic English. Whenever you have a sentence where do, does, did, these are the special rules. What you will be using is, you will be using it in a simple first form. Base form of the verb use होगा, not the second form and not the third form. Base form of the verb should be used, right? So here you can say he does like cricket, saucer. अब does में s नहीं लगेगा, that is also the rule. He does like saucer is wrong. He did drive a long way. अब drive, drove, driven. So what is there? Drive would be there. Clear? Next is, now this is on the synonym part. Synonym क्या होता है? You have the similar meaning of it. And the word is now vexation. Right? Anyone who get a general idea. Now also I'll tell you a hack to solve it out is, if someone does not know the meaning of this, right? Suppose you are not aware what is the meaning of vexation. How you need to solve it? There are 4 options. There will be only one option because you will see synonym. Other 3 options would be on the same side. One option would be there on the different side. That is a general way of doing this question, right? So in case you don't have an idea. Now tell me if someone is aware, like what is now excitement, entertainment. अभी एक जैसा लग रहा है ना? Excitement होना बहुत खुशी होना, entertainment भी खुशी के लिए आता है, some kind of happiness, right? Now SKST and there is annoyance. Now you tell me, what you find an idea? D option, D option, D option, right? Everyone is there. So these 3, they are giving us a similar meaning. This is the only word which is giving us a different meaning, and that is true. That vexation means that is annoyance. जब हम बहुत annoyed होते हैं ना, see, you can note it down the words. अब कुछ चिल्ला रहा है हमें, ठीक है? You're bothering someone. I'm annoying you with, suppose some kind of a trouble is there for you, or you get agitated. Agitated भी होता है बहुत गुस्सा आना. Aggravation, annoyance, bother, chagrin, and the squid. So these are the words which are used like for the vexation. Now here, through these, now you get lots of other terms. Cats and dogs raining heavily, or you can say vexation kya hota hai. And in certain way, you get a general idea how you need to solve the question. Did के साथ first form लगना है, ठीक है? Next is your, this is also from your previous year. अब ये आपका possessive pronouns पे based है. देखो आने आपको बहुत इजी टर्म्स है. यू गेट सेंटेंस कंप्लीशन बेस्ड ऑन प्रेपोजिशन, कंजक्शंस पे आ गया, या आपको कुछ फ्रेजियल वर्ब्स आ जाएंगे, ठीक है. सो दीज आर द वे सेंटेंस कंप्लीशन वुड बी देयर. आना जरूर है, प्रेपोजिशन पे, कंजक्शन पे, इन्हीं में आएगा, बट द पैटर्न इज डिफरेंट एंड दैट टू फॉलो 3 दीज पैटर्न. अगर नहीं भी आता तो ये 3 पैटर्न अच्छे से कर लो. ए ऑप्शन, कोई और? ए ऑप्शन, एवरीवन इज सेइंग ए ऑप्शन. See, this is very easy one. You won't find it difficult also. You will say, ma'am, very easy. But this is what your paper is demanding. Very basic, very easy English. This book is dash and I will not lend it to dash. Now see, this pen or this marker is mera hai. When I am saying it is, I am telling you possession. Whenever there is a possession or something, what you will use it? You will use the form. I का क्या हो जाएगा? You will simply say mine. राइट. तो माइंड भी हमारे पास 2 जगह पे आ रहा है, इधर ए ऑप्शन और यू कैन से डी ऑप्शन. ए और डी ऑप्शन में क्या डिफरेंस है? व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस इन ए एंड डी? आई विल नॉट लेंड इट टू, इसमें कोई पोजेशन नहीं है, देयर इज नो पोजेशन, दे आर सिंपली टेलिंग यू कि मैं इसको तुम्हें नहीं दूंगी, राइट. सो दैट इज आई विल नॉट लेंड इट टू यू, ठीक है. द बुक इज माइंड. So this was a way of doing it, and you need to understand like what are the possessive pronouns, like what are the subject ones, and what is the possession of it. I का mine हो जाएगा, you का yours, he का his, she का hers, it का its, and they का theirs. One more thing I want to tell a rule over here. I've discussed it out. One is based on your gender rule. In case you get a statement on spotting errors or something, right? And there the rule is not mentioned. I've discussed in my last class also. Child must do dash duty. Now anyone who can tell me. Now there you are not aware. This is a girl. A child can be girl also. A child can be boy also. What should be used over here? Anyone in the comments? Like, a child must do dash duty. Now options, I'll give you the options. It can be there. It can be his. It can be her. It can be it. Tell me what will be the option. His, their, its. There is what I'm telling you. Like I've already discussed it in my one you say with my students. Like what should be there when you are not aware about a gender, and that can be a girl also, and that can be boy also. There the masculine gender would be in dominance. His आएगा, ठीक है. So when you are particular, you are very saying, हाँ children होता तो obviously there होता. Here I'm telling you specific child is there. One more thing, if it was like one must perform, this is also. Keep noting down the rules. These are must which I am sharing with you. One must perform dash duty. Now tell me what would be there. One must perform dash duty. What should be there? Their duty. One must perform dash duty. Tell me fast. Let's speedily do it. Like some of the questions would be there. Now we are not only solving the previous year, we are also solving the other. Their duty. This was the other thing which I'm telling you. जब आ जाएगा जेंडर का नहीं पता तो वी विल गो फॉर द मैस्कुलिन जेंडर. बट व्हेनेवर अ सेंटेंस स्टार्ट्स विद वन तो पीछे क्या आ जाएगा? वंस. दिस यू नीड टू नोट इट डाउन. ओके, व्हेन यू हैव वन तो पीछे वंस आएगा. व्हेन यू हैव अ जेंडर व्हिच इज न्यूट्रल, वी आर नॉट अवेयर, गर्ल, बॉय, एनी कैन बी देयर, so you will use his, right? So this is very important in your spotting errors also and your sentence completion also. That is why I'm noting it down side by side, right? Let's move to the next question now. Very easy one, and that is based on your simple one word substitution. Now see, sometimes the students would ask me, ma'am, one word substitution kitna aayega? See, you will hardly get one question, one or two, right? Not, you can say not more than one or two. In case you are good in English, you can devote some time. So you just go through a reading. But in case like you will get a general ones only. In case you want to skip a portion, you can skip it out also. Yeah, though I discuss in my class at the very start. That is why I divide the class into time, like 15 minutes for all such things, which will be very basic from 1 to 2 marks, and rest, which are coming from 4 or 5 marks. Sentence completion, spotting errors. I'm repeating the topics again and again. Okay, now What would be there? D option, everyone. ये सबको आता होगा. Everyone knows, है ना? What is the difference between this? She hates eating meat, and all of her friends are eaters of meat and chicken. So who eats meat and chicken is a person who is a non-vegetarian, right? Vegetarian क्या हो गया? The one who मतलब कि who does not eat meat and all that, right? अब एक और चीज याद रखो, vegan is a person who even does not, कोई मिल्क के डेयरी प्रोडक्ट्स. सम पीपल ना दे फाइंड इट आउट कि एक काउ से मिल्क लेना है ना, और फ्रॉम एनी एनिमल, that is also wrong. Like, how can we take the milk of an animal and how can we consume those dairy products? So there are some people who don't even consume the dairy products, and those are the people who are vegan. Like, in case you're not aware, I know you are all very intelligent students, but let's have a discussion also. Like, we should be discussing on some common terms, and this would be comprehending your vocabulary only. That is my goal for that, right? So this was a way of doing it. And lacto-vegan is someone who, lacto-vegetarian is someone like who is there who consumes dairy products as well. Suppose there are some students who consume dairy products, but they don't eat meat and all that. So they are the ones who are lacto-vegetarians, right? So here you have lots of the ones who are very good and who wants to eat non-veg, they can have the non-veg food. So now the next is your spelling one. Now see, this is very important. I'll tell you, I'll share one word again similar to it. Now spellings, this is a second question of spellings. Now you understand what was the first word, if you remember. हमने पीछे किया था jubilant के spelling क्या थे, right? The ones who are attentive in the class, just tell me, is this the right spelling of jubilant now? Or correct me out. Is it the right or is it wrong? Tell me fast the spelling of jubilant. Who were attentive in this class? Who are attentive in this class? Like, is this the right spelling of jubilant? What is the right? What is the mistake? Wrong. So what is the mistake? What I have done wrong here? What should be there? Wrong, right? So what should be there? Jubilant. And what is the meaning of jubilant? Meaning क्या था jubilant का? जल्दी से type कर दो. What was the meaning of jubilant? What was the meaning? Fast, fast. If anyone remembers, we have discussion. We had discussed two words at the back. Both were there. Adamant was also there. Jubilant was also there. So just a reminder, whenever you are learning something now, I tell you, revise it very next day for 5 minutes. Then after 2-3 days, that is a hack, like how you say ना कि मैम vocabulary कैसे increase करनी है, किस तरह से बढ़ाते हैं. तो एक दिन पढ़ो, skip it like next day, take it for 5 minutes, first skip it for 2-3 days, and then you can again do it, right? So adamant is someone who is very much, you can say, बहुत ढीठ होना, stubborn, and jubilant is very happy. So tell me now that come to back to the question 10, which is the misspelled word? Sorry, correctly spelled. कौन सा सही है word यहाँ पे? Receive के spelling लिखने हैं, जो हम normally बहुत बोलते हैं. What is the right word? C option. Right. So what is there is now, जब भी आपके पास आ जाएगा C. Receive is there, perceive is there. Keep noting down these things. So RECEIVE would be there, right? Perceive hai, so same way here, EI would be there, right? So you need to remember it whenever such terms are there. Receive is there, perceive is there. How you need to speak it out, okay? So that is also based on your linguistics and all that. What should be the good pronunciation of all these terms and words? So just remember it out. Whenever you have a term, like suppose if it repeats in an exam, receive or perceive, it should be RE, or you can say PRCEIVE, right? So EI would be there. Now let's go to the next one. Same way, sentence completion is there. Now see, this is all your previous year. Now you will be telling, ma'am, sentence completion के इतने questions ही आ रहे हैं sentence completion में. Select the most appropriate option to complete the sentence. Now, my father works dash day and night to make the two ends meet. What is the right option? My father works dash hard, hardest, hardly या hardly. बताओ क्या right option है? जल्दी जल्दी. Take your time. There are some students like who can think about it. A option. Everyone is telling me A option. Any other option? A के सिवाय. A option ही ठीक है. That's final. C option. Hardly. देखो, अब पता क्या है? Hardly is a negative term. That is also I discussed in one of the rules in my your PPT and assignments. Hardly होता है, hardly कोई काम करता है. जब hardly वो पढ़ता है. That is a negative term whenever you get to destination. So my father hardly works day and night to make two ends meet. Two ends meet होता है कि कोई भी खाने पीने आपको रोटी प्रोवाइड करने के लिए भी ना वो बहुत मेहनत करते हैं or something like that. So that is my father works hard day and night. हार्डेस्ट तो होता व्हेन ही इज कंपेयर टू, आई टोल्ड यू ना सुपरलेटिव डिग्री कब लगती है, जब द होगा या कुछ ऐसे होगा तो हमारी सुपरलेटिव डिग्री लगेगी. दिस इज रॉन्ग, डी ऑप्शन की तो स्पेलिंग ही गलत है. So what does there is? You should be option A. My father works hard. And hardly is like same way I've given you the rules also. You can get an idea. Hard is an adjective with various meaning. Like yesterday exams was hard. तो ये तो हो गया कि बहुत ज़्यादा tough था. A diamond is very hard. Hard क्या होता है? Solid form. Carpentry is a hard work. Hard work होता है जो बहुत ज़्यादा effort की पेपर के लिए तैयारी कर लो. It requires a lot of hard work. But once you are able to crack it out, you will be at the top level. Hard is an adverb with various meanings. My student works very hard. Very hard is when you are telling me about certain effort कि बहुत effort से कर रहा है. Look, it's raining hard. तो बहुत तेजी से, बहुत force के साथ बारिश हो रही है. Hardly is something like I hardly slept last night. I स्कासी में सो ही नहीं पाई पूरी रात. जो hardly work today, तो वो उसने कुछ काम किया ही नहीं है. So this is a way you have to differentiate. Hardly is for something negative, and hard is when you are working very, you can say, with much force. You are preparing for this exam. Never expect anyone to give you what you want. Work hard, show some dedication, and get it yourself. So this is for your exam, which I'm telling you the quotes. याद हमने पहले भी की थी quote, be the change you want to see. क्या quote थी? So that was given by which philosopher? So when that was given by Mahatma Gandhi. So these are the certain quotes you need to remember. And do read. I tell you one thing. Do read 1 or 2 quotes every day in your routine. That would be giving you so much of the, you can say, motivation also. And first thing is impression or vocabulary बहुत अच्छी होती है. Like the ones are there who just want to increase your vocabulary. So ma'am, one thing I would say to every one of you, एक एक idiom जरूर पढ़ा करो हर दिन before you sleep. और उसको status डाल दिया करो. That is the best way to remember it out. Choose the correct preposition. अब वही है, देखो sentence completion ही है. अब इसको किसमें करना है? Preposition fill out करनी है, right? As it started to rain, the snail withdrew dash its shell using its natural umbrella. What would be there? C option, along आएगा. D option, from. देखो this is very easy and this is based on simple rule of your. Preposition भी याद होना. देखो now this is basic English. Preposition बहुत basic है English का part. But वही चीज है, we don't remember the rules. We are not doing English. That is why we are not able to remember the rules in so long, right? तो बताओ क्या आएगा इसमें? What would be there? A option. देखो, I tell you one thing. If you are saying some kind of a motion is there, है ना? जब भी कुछ motion वाला आ जाएगा, we will be using is into in that. Okay? So that is for into. Like suppose he jumped dash the swimming pool. अब क्या है? वो motion है, वो चल रहा है, jump कर रहा है, तो अंदर जा रहा है swimming pool के. That is into. In मैंने आपको बताया था, that is a general idea. Suppose I am sitting inside the, or you can say I am sitting in the room. I am in Chandigarh. So that is एक general आ जाता है. In तब होता है. यहाँ पे भी आप देखोगे, as it started, snail क्या करता है? वापस अपने उसके ना बीच में ये goes inside. तो वो motion show करता है. It withdrew its shell and using a natural umbrella. तो motion के लिए यहाँ पे आ जाएगा into. Into is the right option, right? So here you can get an idea also. देखो, in is for general and into is when you are into a motion or something. Same way, this is a snail. Now this is just a pictorial representation for it. कि अब वो क्या करता है? वो अंदर ही खत्म हो जाता है. He does not show his face and all that. He goes inside it, right? So that is. Idioms like, see, I told you in this way. अब देखो आपको last sentence में आ गया, spotting errors में आता है. तो कई बार idioms इस way में आते हैं, spotting errors में आते हैं. They confuse you. In the idioms, they make mistakes, and that is why you need to do the idioms also. Idioms हो गए, one word हो गए, phrasal verbs हो गए. तो these are miscellaneous. 1-2 marks के आएंगे. But I tell you कि try करा करो कि 15 minutes या हर दिन के 10 minutes कुछ ना कुछ पढ़ लिया करो ये बात. Vocabulary एक दिन में नहीं होती है, हर दिन कुछ ना कुछ. You have time. See, we will be practicing the questions and all that. So you have time also. So you should be doing it in this way. Fill in the blanks with most appropriate phrase. Now this is a phrase. This is also now sentence completion only. पर ये phrases पे based है. तो phrasal verbs कैसे आएंगे? अब बताओ मुझे. Very easy, very normal, very easy. Repetitive of your last year exam. Last year exams पे based है. Now, when one more thing I'm telling you, suppose you practice questions, like you will be practicing the questions on your own also. खुद से भी practice करो. तो जो 4 options आते हैं ना, whenever you get the options and all that, हर option को detect करने की कोशिश करा करो. Because see, the examiner would be setting it in the same frame only. उसी तरह से set करना है. उसमें difference क्या होगा? बस वो क्या करेगा? कुछ words को change कर देगा. So that is why the best is try to analyze through the options and try to do. That is why I'm coming up with the previous year. Next week also I'll be coming with the same. We'll be practicing the previous year also and some of the general questions also. So what is there? Brought up. Everyone is telling the A option. Brought off, bring in, koi galat hai ye sare options. What is the right one? Anyone else who has any other idea? देखो, this is a statement जो phrase पे based है, bring up, right? तो किसी को होता है ना, that dash to be extremely trending thinkers by the many children are, कि वो पाल पोस कर इस तरह से बड़े किए जाते हैं कि बहुत अच्छे से independent thinkers बन सके. Now you are working very hard for your education or something, for your exam. Why? Because your parents have brought up in you in that way that you put your 100% dedication and you're able to crack this exam, right? So brought us up is like you are giving up, you are bringing up something, right? तो आपको किस तरह से to take care of a child, ऐसे पाल पोस कर बड़ा किया गया है कि हमारा बच्चा खुद stand ले सके. You don't want to be on someone, dependent on someone, right? So this is the way you need to understand all these rules. I'm telling you, just focus. English में आपके 17 marks कहीं नहीं जाएंगे. It is going to become very basic. So don't think कि मैम 17 तो ऐसे ही आ जाएंगे. इसके लिए practice classes कुछ ना कुछ part करते रहो ताकि एक एक क्वेश्चन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है. टेल यू do the same way phrases आ गया. This is also same way sentence completion based on the phrasal verb. Now Siddhant and Madhuri decided to call dash their wedding just 1 week before the ceremony. So what is there? Decided to. अब ये देखो call है, call के साथ क्या लगेगा? Off लगेगा, on लगेगा, in लगेगा या up लगेगा. So these are the 4 options you are getting. And this every term has a different meaning. That is your homework. When I come in the next class now, I'll have a discussion. So I'll be asking you, what is the meaning of call off? What is the meaning of call on? What is the meaning of call in? What is the meaning of call up? Because it is very easy and general idea. Call off आएगा, तो call off is obviously to cancel it out or something. Call in होता है बुलाना जिस तरह से. Call up, now you have to decide कि ये 4 options किस तरह से थे. Do note it down. What is the difference? To come with it. तो call off something is to cancel. किसी ने शादी cancel कर दी, किसी ने meeting cancel कर दी. तो whenever off is there ना, O-double-F, you need that is postponing something, canceling something, putting an end to something. Okay, so this is a way of telling it out. So they called off their wedding, they ended their wedding. News headlines पे airport strike called off, मतलब strike खत्म हो गई. उस तरह से the Bahrain Grand Prix has been called off. So this way is to end it with something. Okay, next you have is again a sentence completion which is based on the conjunction. Now tell me this one. Sudha is an extrovert, dash Ramona, her sister, is an introvert. Now I'll be discussing the terms also, like what is the meaning of introvert, what is the meaning of extrovert, and what is the meaning of one more term, that is ambivert with you guys, right? Before that, just tell me out कि इसमें conjunction कौन सी लगेगी? Also, saw, whereas या when. What is the right form of conjunction? C option, whereas. Whereas, just participate. Even if it is wrong, na, try to participate in the class. Why? Because once you participate, your fear would remain like खत्म हो गया, तो डर खत्म होगा कि हम आंसर कर सकते हैं. दूसरा गलत होगा तो क्या हो जाएगा? It's not your exam, right? It is whereas for sure. Good. So that is right. Whereas जब भी statement होगी ना, देखो, whenever you have a term whereas, 2 चीजें दी गई थी हमें, ठीक है? एक बहन है वो इंट्रोवर्ट है, एक बहन है वो एक्सट्रोवर्ट है. So whenever you have contrast between 2 things, so that time you use whereas. Whereas we did all the job, they enjoyed themselves. He is careful, whereas I take risk. अब 2 statements थी, एक risk ले रहा है, एक job कर रहा है, careful है, तो क्या आ गया? 2 statements आ जाती है. And that is also when they are telling us कि क्या difference क्या आ रहा है, right? Next you have is now here, because क्या आ जाता है? क्योंकि, right? So she usually eats at home because she likes cooking. वो खुद खाना बनाती है क्योंकि उसे खाना बनाना पसंद है, right? Even if कहाँ पे आ जाता है? Even if you take a taxi, you will still कि कर भी लो तो भी तुम्हारा कुछ नहीं होगा. If I say कि तुम लोग क्या करते हो? In English you need more of the smart work than hard work. तो अच्छे से smart work करो तो तुम्हारा अच्छा हो जाएगा. If I say कि नहीं यार कुछ भी पढ़ते हो, छोटे होते की first class की English पढ़ लो, कोई फायदा नहीं. So that is true. Even if you read the class English of first class, you won't pass the examination. So in that way, unless needs a main clause to complete a sentence, like she will be sick unless she stops eating. अगर तुम मेहनत नहीं करोगे तुम क्लियर नहीं कर पाओगे एग्जाम. If you want practice the questions, अकेला थ्योरी नहीं पढ़ना है इंग्लिश में. You have to practice lots of questions in English, and that is the way, that is the hack, right? Now same way I'm telling you 3 terms. Extrovert, जो बहुत confident होता है, like a person who's there who can talk to anyone, who's not at all shy and who is very social, like बहुत जल्दी उसके friends बन जाते हैं. इंट्रोवर्ट आ जाता है जो बहुत शाय है, जो बात ही नहीं करता, एंड ही डज नॉट लाइक टू मेक फ्रेंड्स एंड ऑल दैट, ही वांट्स टू सिट अलोन. देयर आर सर्टेन पीपल हु आर एम्बीवर्ट. एम्बीवर्ट होते हैं जिनको दोनों, लाइक इफ आई से ना, कभी इंट्रोवर्ट है कभी एक्सट्रोवर्ट है. नाउ अकॉर्डिंग टू योर पर्सनालिटी व्हाट यू आर, नाउ दिस इज आल्सो फॉर योर टर्म्स व्हिच विल बी देयर इन योर वोकैबुलरी और समथिंग. So क्या होगा, ambivert is there who balances both the personality. Sometimes he is an extrovert, sometimes an introvert, right? He needs his own time also, he enjoys with other also. He can be teams also, but अकेले में भी वो काम कर सकता है. तो इस तरह से see, you get from a single question. क्वेश्चन क्या था आपका, एक एक्सट्रोवर्ट टर्म आई थी, दैट इज व्हाई डिस्कस किया एक्सट्रोवर्ट, इंट्रोवर्ट और एम्बिवर्ट. सपोज क्वेश्चन एक ऐसा ही आ जाए आपको, एम्बिवर्ट पे आ जाए सपोज नेक्स्ट टाइम, तो एटलीस्ट यू शुड बी अवेयर कि एम्बिवर्ट होता क्या है. So that is the way you need to do the questions. Not only practice the question, analyze the questions. And that is a trick. Once you start analyzing the question, you will be able to solve it. Now tell me what is an antonym. Ulta, ठीक है? Antonym of supreme. Same way. If you're not aware, चारों ऑप्शंस देखो, तीन ऑप्शंस एक तरह के होंगे, एक ऑप्शन सेपरेट होगा, उसको टिक कर दो. In case you don't get an idea and all that. Tell me what would be the right one. Supreme का opposite क्या होगा? Best, superior, inconsequential and excellent. What would be the right option? Inconsequential, C option, right. Everyone is intelligent है. Best, superior, excellent. These denote same thing. Inconsequential separate आ गया. So that is a hack to do it. Now tell you one thing. देखो बहुत easy terms है, कुछ difficult नहीं है. These were all on your papers, right? So you can note it down. Inconsequential भी क्या होता है? Now keep noting the vocabulary. In case suppose next exam में, अब इस time exam में आपको question आ जाए, where the teacher he got the term inconsequential for you. So you should be aware that is something insignificant, right? That is something negligible, trivial, big zero, casual, insufficient, immature material, or something like entry level. So that is your inconsequential, right? So keep noting it down. Terms को note करते रहो, vocabulary को enhance करो. Last term of the previous year, ये previous year का last है. This was your synonym of vicinity. अब vicinity का मतलब क्या होता है? Same we do it now. Surrounding, एक है surrounding, एक है distance, removal, separation. Synonym is same meaning. किस चीज का meaning आएगा? Vicinity किसका meaning होता है? Like if anyone has got an idea, like what is the meaning of vicinity? What is the meaning of vicinity? Anyone? Just guesswork. You can do the guesswork also. क्या होगा right option? Surrounding होगा, distance होगा. Tell me what would be the right option? जल्दी जल्दी, just have a guesswork. अगर पेपर में आता तो कौन सा टिक करते? What would have you ticked? A option, surrounding. विजय गूगल किया what you did? सबको आता है. Vipin also knows A. How you know it? Have you googled it out? Yeah, vicinity means what is your surrounding and all that. ठीक है, जो हमारा आसपास का एरिया होता है वो कैसा है, that is your vicinity, right? So here you can note it down. Environment आ गया आपका, locality, nearness, some kind of you can say proximity, neighborhood. These all the terms they give us the meaning कि क्या होता है हमारा. Now you get a new term of today, vicinity, adamant, and all these terms which give you an idea. That is for your surroundings, right? Now these are the questions which have been taken it as a general ones. ठीक है, same way one word substitution पे है. ठीक है, so now it is about one word substitution. A poem of 14 lines based on literature question, right? So let's have a general idea, like if you know it out. अब 14 लाइंस की पोइम को क्या कहते हैं? व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ 14 लाइंस पोइम? यू हैव 14 लाइंस. व्हाट इज दैट पोइम कॉल्ड? एनीवन? It's called ballad, it's called psalm, it's called sonnet, or it is called as carol. I'll be telling you each term. What does it mean? What is the meaning? Anyone? See, sonnet. I think everyone has done it. Google. I don't think कि आपको आता था. I don't know why, but maybe you are very intelligent, or I was just thinking that this is a literature question. How technocrats would answer me such question? But you are intelligent. Carol. So one of you is telling carol. C maybe. Sonnet. Okay. So it's good if you have not Googled it out, and then also you are aware about this question because you have done it. Or you can say, simply it's about, I guess, you were in junior classes when these were there, right? So these things were there. So ballad is something. I tell you, ballad क्या होता था? जब हमने किसी स्टोरी को नरेट करना है in the form of, you can say, poem. There were poems, and in telling, the people used to tell the whole story in that way, right? So that is ballad. Then you have psalm and carol. Both mean some kind of a religious poems and all that, right? And sonnet is a poem that is of 14 lines. So याद रखना है, whenever there is a question like suppose a literature based question comes, so you should be aware that sonnet, you can say that as a poem for 14 lines. Ballad is where you tell a story and all that. And similar way, like it would be there कि कोई भी हमने dancing song होता था, people used to dance, they used to narrate whole of the story in the ballads, right? So that was something. So ये literature terms हैं, but बहुत interesting है. I tell you, हमने junior classes में सभी terms को पढ़ा हुआ है. If you just go through that. Now same way, this is very simple. What is a synonym of sheath? Sheath को क्या बोलते हैं? Weapon, hide, encourage, quote. Do it in the same way. Yeah, one of the you mentioned elimination method. That is the best way to do the questions in English. Elimination method अगर होता है ना, तो उससे क्या होता है? If you are not aware, your guesswork goes really good. If you know the basic of English. A weapon, sheath is weapon. Sheath का मतलब क्या होता है? Anyone else? Vijay told A option. Participate more, please. Just tell me in the comments. We have a very short and a simple class, so you can participate and all that. What would be there? Weapon, hide, encourage or quote. Sheath क्या होता है? B option. क्या होगा? Hide, छुपाना. No, that is C. Now you will get difference from the term. देखो, this is something. जब हम, you remember कोई, if someone gets married also or something, so they do it that they keep it inside. तो उसको छुपाते हैं. They keep it inside a coat or something, right? So it should be your coat. ठीक है? किसी को रखना, cover कर देना, तो cover होता है. I don't remember what it is called when there are different people in the marriages and all that. They take some kind of a sword type of a thing is there. Not exactly the sword is there, but similar to it. So they have in that, right, coat is there. That is a sheath, right? So that is a proper cover of it. Clear? So you should be aware now what is actually sheath. That is a cover and all. Now take the next term. In these questions, you have to fill in the blanks and 4 alternatives are given. And here also you have to fill in the blanks. Sentence completion is there, but it is based on the context. Context of your understanding. Where granted, allowed, admonished or sanctioned. Like what is the right word to use it out? D option, D option. D option. Sanction. I sanctioned him to use my bike to go to office. What would be there? B option is I allowed. What would be the rest? B, D में confuse हो? देखो, see, this is the way you need to understand. Grant होता है किसी को, you can simply say permission देना, ठीक है? Like if you give someone a permission or something, that is grant. Admonish होता है किसी को बहुत चिल्ला के, like if I just speak so rude to you, like I just speak ill to you, that is some kind of admonish. Sanction होता है, you just say ना कि government has sanctioned, or you say my bill, or you can say some of the loan was sanctioned, मतलब उसको offline way में आपको मिल गया. So that is for sanction. This is a term. Now see, every term looks so similar. These look like a synonyms and all that. But every term, when you go inside the depth, such questions would be there. So you go inside the depth, you would be understanding that what is the major difference. Now I dash him to bike. Grant तो कर नहीं सकते, admonish झड़क नहीं दे रहे हो तुम, ठीक है? Sanction तुम कर नहीं सकते, तो what is there is allowed is a right option. Even you can note it down. Allow होता है permission देना, ठीक है? Grant होता है जब हम किसी को छुट्टी मांगते हैं, leave मांगते हैं, so that is also grant. Admonish is किसी को गुस्से से डांटना, like I am just rebuking you so badly. And sanction is to give offline permission for something. So that was a term. Now you can even note down a new term if you're not aware, admonish. See, in this way, when you will end the class, after the end of 25 questions, you will have a good number of vocabulary, you will have a good number of rules. That is my target. And obviously, you have done the previous year questions also. The other thing, the best part of it, 3 benefits and single, you can say, slide. Now do the opposite in meaning, like you have to do the antonym. Do the antonym of it, right? So what is the word? Benevolent. This is important. This comes mostly, like if you say many competitive exams are there, these terms do come. Tell me what is the opposite of benevolent. You should be understanding with that. What is the opposite of benevolent? क्या होता है benevolent? देखो, if you remember it out, this is an image which will help you in understanding what is the meaning of benevolent. The person is like, he's helping him, right? So किसी की मदद करना. So that way, same as benevolent is to help someone. Now you have to find opposite. Obviously, opposite would be there. So now tell me, now equivalent and prevalent. This is prevail होना, चलता रहना. Equivalent होता है बराबर होना. This cannot be there, this cannot be there. Now, by elimination, we are left with option A or B. Now tell me what would be there. I have made it easier for you. I've eliminated the option C and D. Now do A और B में क्या आएगा? C और D नहीं हो सकता, prevail नहीं होता. Help करना. Benevolent means helping someone. Now tell me, it would be A option or B option? What would be the opposite? A option, malignant. What would be there? See, malignant is something, malevolent is something. अब benevolent I told you, it is to help someone. ठीक है? Malevolent is something to give harm to someone. किसी को चोट पहुंचाना is you call it as malevolent. And malignant is something that you call as कि किसी को control करना to harm something. Like if I say that would cause death or something, so that is malignant. तो एक ये भी याद करो, benevolent है, opposite है malevolent. Our last terms are say benevolent and malevolent. Malevolent is causing harm to someone, and you can say benevolent is helping someone. So in this way, you can note it down also, like you have the statement and all that. So here you can have an idea. Benevolent means philanthropic. Philanthropic is also a person who is very merciful. जब भी कोई देखते ना, like some are there who just denote something. Generosity is there. They're very generous people who they cannot see the someone pity in front of them. So that is compassionate, caring, generous, humane, beneficial. Like all these terms, which give you a general idea what is the meaning of benevolent, right? So here I've given you the terminology also. I've written it out also, that what is the different. Malevolent is when you are harming someone. Benevolent is when you are very kind or generous to someone, and malignant is something that cannot be controlled and that is likely to cause death or something. Then you have the antonyms of benevolent also. That is, you are saying someone is very cruel, hateful, mean, merciless, misery, stingy, unkind, greedy, and malevolent. So see here, with one question also you get different ideas. You're able to get the synonyms, you're able to get the antonyms, and you get a general idea like how to solve a question. The terms also. This is a way you need to do the previous year. Previous year not need to be done ki ye question tha general idea. No. Go in depth of all these questions, and it is in every paper. Now do the next one. Like here also you have to, error spotting is your question. Like spot the error. Several prominent figures involved in the scandal are required to appear to the investigation committee. No error. Tell me where is the fault. A, B, C, D. Which part there lies the fault? Very important, because it also gives us, it is based on your phrasal verb something. Phrases pe based hai. Now I'll check how much you are aware about it. Tell me, where should be there now? Where is the fault? Just have a guesswork. Do it in the form of elimination method. Several and prominent figures, koi spelling mein mistake hai, involved in the scandal are required to hi aayega, appear to the investigation team. No error. What would be there? Just get an idea what would be there. Now see, such questions are there which are a little tricky because they are certain thing new to you. Tell me what would be there. Have a guesswork. Amit, Sabir, Avinash, Vijay. Just answer me fast. Shibam, Jha, everyone is missing now. B option. B option, involved in the scandal. And do write me, do tell me also, like Sai, like why you are finding, agar A option mein galti hai, B mein hai, C mein hai, D mein hai, to kya galti hai? What is the mistake over there? Do tell me that also. Where is the mistake? What is the mistake? You need to tell me that. क्या गलती है? Where is the mistake now? Option fast, tell me. D option, B option. Now everyone is giving me the option. No one is able to tell me like why is the mistake? Where is the mistake, ma'am? This is a mistake. That is a mistake. What is the mistake now? नहीं आता? D option. Everyone is so intelligent. Why you are not answering now? See, this is a very good question. And any one of you is aware, that means the person is very intelligent. Sai, Sabir, Vijay, D option. Why D? Tell me that also. Achha, D, no error. सब कुछ ठीक है. कोई गलती नहीं है. Chalo, this was certain something confusing. I'll answer you for this. Now, several prominent figures involved in the scandal are required to appear to the investigation team. नहीं होता. Whenever you do a fault or something, right? Whenever you say you are to appear in front of the judges, you are to appear in front of the police, like some of the suspension or something is there, it is appear before, right? So it is appear to the investigation committee nahi hota. Not noted down. This is very important. Appear before someone. These are based on the idioms. Now you're asking me na at the very start, ma'am, idioms kahan pe aayenge? Idioms ka use yahan pe aata hai. Now this is a question where idioms are used and everyone was answering wrong. Now see, it was an error spotting only. I told you the idioms would be coming not direct to you, but in the form of error spotting. Now, appear before someone is like to have a trial or hearing, like officially you did something wrong, you did something like that. So that is appear before someone to have a trial, right? And appear to someone is like you're making your appearance in front of someone. Like I am appearing in front of you. I'm making my appearance in front of you. So that is a difference. Whenever it is in a police, judge, anything, when you have to summon somewhere, that is your appear before someone. General is like my late grandfather appeared to me in a dream. मेरे सामने when I was sleeping, my grandfather appeared in front of me, like appeared to. तो आ गया कि वो मुझे दिखे. When I'm to tell is you have to appear before the judges. आपको summon किया जा रहा है, आपको judges के आगे appear होना है. So that is appear before. So that was a term. And what is wrong in it now? This is your appear to नहीं आना था, appear before आना था. So this is way your idioms need to be used. Do the 23rd now. Last 3 questions are there now. Do it very fast, enthusiastically. We are doing 25 good questions and हमने बहुत कुछ, we have learned something very different to it. Tell me now. What would be there? Man is essentially a dash animal and tends to associate with others. You have heard it about it that man is a social animal. This is a simple. You used to write in your man एक इंसान है वो बहुत किसी के साथ like he needs company or something. He always needs someone. C option. Selfish. Selfish है इसलिए उसको बाकियों की जरूरत है नहीं. You cannot say like selfish. You need some kind of a social term आ जाता है. Perseverance is something like you are dedicated. चलता रहना है. Gregarious and sentimental. Emotional is there. Gregarious is there. सेंटिमेंट बहुत सेंटिमेंटल है इसलिए उसको क्या चाहिए सेंटिमेंटल एनिमल है नो it should be some related to social and all that, and that is a term. Gregarious is a term that tells us कि he is a very social one. You need to be very social and very, you can say simply in the term is like see gregarious की अब terms आपको मिल जाती हैं कि उसको किसी का किसी इंसान को कंपनी चाहिए. You cannot survive alone. You cannot survive on an island. You cannot survive in an isolation or something. So you need to know that gregarious is a term which means like you are enjoying in a company of others. You need someone for your assistant and something. Sentimental won't be there. हमें social चाहिए, affable, clubby, companionship, cordial, sociable, right? Now you have the next question. That is based on which best expresses the meaning क्या आ जाएगा? That is, it is based on the synonym part. Now tell me what is the meaning of parsimony? Parsimony का मतलब क्या होता है? Expenditure, bankruptcy, bribery, miserliness. Same way, if you are not aware, 4 options हैं. Eliminate करो. जो भी लगता है कि सबसे odd one out कुछ different सा लग रहा है, उस पे eliminate करो. नहीं पता चल रहा तो try to note it down. Now you have a good list of vocabulary for today's section. 25 questions में I tell you आपको minimum of 5 to 10 आपको words दिख गया जो vocabulary के. And very simple. This is the way you need to enhance it out. More of the questions and more of the things. Conjuice. I'll tell you one thing. ये note कर लो. पारसी लोग जैसे होते हैं ना, if you need to remember it out, कैसे? पारसी मनी. पारसी लोग हैं, वो पैसे नहीं खर्चते जल्दी. They are very conscious. कहाँ पे लगाने हैं, कहाँ पे नहीं लगाने हैं. So that is someone who is very conscious to spend money. Who is very conscious to spend money. Expenditure तो होने से रहा, ठीक है? वो तो conscious है इंसान. Bankruptcy, दिवाला निकलना, ठीक है? The person who has given all the money. तो वो भी आ जाएगा, right? Next is bribery. Bribery भी गलत आ जाएगा. Last option is your miserliness. Miserliness is something that is simple words. What to tell is the one who does not spend much of the money. So same way you can note it down as parsimony is someone like who has meanness, miserliness, providence, frugality, right? And antonyms is someone who is very generous, who is very kind, who is very generous. So that is your parsimony. And what is the difference of parsimony, right? Now you have the last question, and this is also very important. Same way sentence completion है और हमारे पास क्या है options है like what are the best ways, and this is a way, this is based on your models. This is something miscellaneous. You don't get generally such questions, but yeah, you can get an idea. Now tell me what would be the right option. You dash carry all the books to the school daily. Ought not, would not, have not, need not. What would be the right option? B option. Would not, you would not carry all the books to the school daily. क्या आ जाएगा? एक जनरल स्टेटमेंट है कि रोज की रोज सारी बुक्स लाने की ऑफिस में जरूरी नहीं है. यू नॉट ब्रिंग ऑल द बुक्स टू द स्कूल. तो क्या चीज आएगी? नीड नॉट, वुड नॉट. व्हाट वुड बी देयर? किसी ने वुड नॉट बोला है. देखो दिस इज ऑल्सो बेस्ड ऑन. अब नाउ सिंपल फंडा क्या है इसमें? यू आपको जरूरत नहीं है. यू नीड नॉट कैरी ऑल दिस बुक्स इन योर क्लास. दैट इज फाइन. But you need to understand like where the models need to be used. Like ought कहाँ पे आएगा, need कहाँ पे आएगा, would कहाँ आएगा, should कहाँ आएगा. ठीक है. So just take a screenshot also of this, like in case you have this, right? So similar way आ जाएगा अब इसमें. Same thing, can, may, must, shall, will, ought to, need to. Now I tell you, can क्या आ जाता है? Sometimes you say when you were like in a junior classes, ma'am, may I come in, can I come in, तो can आ जाता है आपकी ability. So this is wrong, that you can come in. It should be you make. I ma'am, may I come in, तो may आ जाता है आपकी ability किसी चीज को show करने के लिए. Can आ जाता है आपकी ability के लिए. Must आ जाता है, like suppose if you want, you must follow the traffic rules. In case you do not follow the traffic rules, you will get some kind of a fine और murder. अगर आप इसका murder करोगे तो भी क्या होगा, जेल हो जाएगी. तो mail must आ जाएगा whenever you are certain kind of obligation is there. Shall is for the future and basically it is used with I and we. Will is used when you are sure about certain thing. Ought to is used for some kind of a moral duty. You ought to respect your parents, right? So you ought to be a good citizen. So that is a moral duty, insistence. अब कहीं बार मैं बोलती हूँ पेरेंट्स को रिस्पेक्ट नहीं करोगे, मस्ट क्यों नहीं लगेगा वहां पे? Why not must? Because नहीं करोगे तो जेल नहीं होगी. But yeah, this is for certain where penalties would be there. Ought to is like a general but a good and a strict recommendation. Need is obviously I told you, right? You need not go to the class or you need not to be present like that and all that. Then you can be to, have to, would and should. Would and should, will और shall का क्या आ गया? Past format आ गया. Used to क्या आ गया? Repetitive action आ गया. So in this way you will be there. Now, any problem till these 25 questions. We got a general idea. I'll do a repetition of all the questions very quickly so that the ones who join late or they have missed any kind of a question, what we did in the whole class, that would be done in a single format, right? So let's have a quick revision of all these questions. Very first was now, yeah, this was your first question. Choose the most appropriate option. So whenever cities are there, कोई state का आ गया, कोई country का आ गया, so that would be the western coastal plains are found in Gujarat. कोई भी city या state का आ जाएगा तो in general idea के लिए ये चीज हो गई. in क्या आ गया general, on आ गया कुछ specific और at आ गया बहुत ज्यादा specific के लिए, right? So this was a usage of prepositions. Have a screenshot कहाँ पे लगेगा कहाँ पे नहीं लगेगा. Next is that was based on a proverb and this was your last year questions. Be the change you want to see and that was said by that about Mahatma Gandhi. Next you have as a rule, like whenever than comes in any statement, you will go for a comparative degree. So here it would be there. I know she is not experienced for this job, but the communication skills seem to be far better. तो वो क्या आ जाएगा आपका? Comparative degree लग गया तो than आ गया. अगर best है तो superlative degree and the लगेगा, right? Then you had a misspelled word and we chose jubilant for it, Jubilant. Other words, adamant वगैरह वो कहाँ पे use होता था? They were simply that person who is very stubborn, who is inflexible. So there was a screenshot, had a screenshot, like what is the best usage of the vocabulary. Next you had a where is the error. So all of the sudden था, all of a sudden लगेगा, ठीक है? Cats and dogs था, that means something that is raining heavily. Then you have did is there, the first form लगेगा. तो did के साथ क्या आ जाएगा? Did you write your essay yourself or did you take help from your sister? The first form of the verb, basic form of verb would be used. Next you had was synonym of vexation. तो vexation का मतलब क्या था? That was your simply annoyance. ठीक है? You're disturbed by something, you're bothering by something. Next you had was a possession. Possession pronouns कौन से होते थे? This book is mine and I will not lend it to you. तो that was the first person और possession के लिए हमने बताया था subject pronouns क्या होते हैं और possession pronouns क्या होते हैं. Next you had is one word substitution. The ones who eat meat and non-veg and all that. So that is something that you use is, that is your non-vegetarian, right? So next you had was the question अब receive, perceive. So whenever the spelling would come, RECEIVE, PERCEIVE. So in this way you have to use it. Next question was like where you need my father works hard. Hardly works for something negative. Hardest आता तो क्या आ जाता? Superlative degree. तो here was a common usage कि किस तरह से हमने difference करना है. Next was your preposition, like अगर कोई motion के लिए आ रहा है तो into लगेगा. तो same way अब snail है वो move कर रहा है तो into आ जाएगा. In same way I've discussed like अगर आप room के अंदर बैठे हो तो क्या आ जाएगा? In the room. लेकिन अगर आप motion में हो swimming pool या किसी के अंदर जा रहे हो तो that is into आ जाएगा. Next is your he was brought up. Brought up होता है किसी के parents ने उसको किस तरह से you say ना how the parvarish has been done, संस्कार कैसे मिले हैं. So that is a term. Next would be your like he decided to call off, call in, call upon, call in. तो ये मैंने आपको terms बोला था कि जो आप practice करना कि किस तरह से क्या use करेंगे, ठीक है? And it should be I decided to call off. That is to cancel the wedding or something. Then you have the conjunction Sudha is an extrovert. Whereas when two statements are given and one statement is giving us a positive idea or something, other statement given is a contradictory idea, so whereas would be used, right? So here I've given discussion of all the rules which were used. Then was personality, vocabulary के लिए आपकी extrovert was a person who is very social, introvert जो बहुत ज़्यादा कम, you can say who is very shy, and ambivert who is a mix of it. Next you had a word like appropriate synonym, antonym of supreme, so that was inconsequential. So I've given you the list of inconsequential also, that is very trivial or worthless thing is there. Next you had as the synonym of vicinity. So vicinity पे क्या आ जाएगा? That is your surrounding. Next you had these all the vocabulary terms. A poem of 14 lines is termed as a sonnet, and simply ballad is for the dancing song and all that. Sheath is some kind of a coat that is being covered or something. Then you had as I allowed him to use my bike and all, so I have given a list of it. Benevolent क्या होता था? Someone who is very good to you, who is helping you, and opposite would be malevolent, someone who is doing harm to you. And then you had the statement like he was to appear before the investigation committee. So before appear करना मतलब कोई अपनी blame के लिए बताना उसको, right? So I've given a discussion of this also. Then you have man is essentially a gregarious person. So gregarious is someone who is very much, you can say, helping others, social animal. Then you had the term parsimony. Parsimony is someone who does not spend much of the money, and that means that is a similar word expresses the best as miserless, right? And the last one of your was that you dash carry all the books to the school daily. You need not to carry. So see, this was a general idea of your examination. All the previous year questions are covered, right? And more to that is like I've given you now 25 questions have been discussed. So 17 or 18 questions were exactly 17 questions you're going to get in your exam. So they were same replica of your previous year paper, right? Rest of the questions were like which I had a general idea कि किस तरह से आपको questions आएंगे. Fine. We will be discussing more of such questions and we'll get a general idea. So I hope इस part में आपको problem ना आई हो, and you too practice it on your part. Follow the rules whichever we have discussed. Keep noting your vocabulary, idioms में कितना आएगा, किस तरह से आएगा, वो आपको करना है. Now see the difference between the question is like possession of it's like it is not about it जो आ जाता है ना, it's possession, its, that is a possession. और it's होता है जैसे अगर आप किसी को donate कर रहे हो, then it's raining heavily. So इस तरह से you need to understand the difference between the terminologies. I'll be discussing about it, don't worry. PDF and all that you will get in the class and all that. Who are the students, they will get the PDF uploaded in it. Please do note it down the rules whenever you are to practice the old questions. Analysis करा करो. Analysis करोगे जितने अच्छे से उतने अच्छे से आपको 4 options मिलते हैं ना, उसको बहुत अच्छे से analysis करो and you will be able to understand the vocabulary, error spotting, sentence completion. ये बहुत अच्छे से do mark these topics up. Any other problem? Anyone, any other problem? So we will meet next week then, and take care. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Take care.